Hi. So, wondering if you heard the news that there's going to be a Batman versus Superman movie in 2015. DC Comics made an announcement recently at the Comic Con, and there was huge reception towards the fact that Henry Cavill would be, coming back as Superman, but the main feature in that movie would be The Dark Knight. With the retirement of Christian Bale, who gave us 3 great movies, and still Christopher Nolan, who's done a fantastic job with the first Superman, the new Man of Steel movie, fans knew that Bale, no matter how much they tempted him, would not come back. So we were all wondering who this new Batman was going to be. So considering this Batman's going to be an older, wiser Batman, one that had been through the wars, one that had, battle savvy, and he was a mature character now. You were looking to see someone who was really battle hardened, looked like a man that really meant business, an imposing figure that had become a veteran in fighting crime. Right. So you're thinking, so you're looking for a real brooding character, somebody who can really play the role as Batman and the role of Bruce Wayne, and someone who can really add a real strong, believable character as Batman, an older version of Batman. So you're thinking to yourself, well, Bale would be the perfect person for that. So you can't have Bale. So who could you have? Of all the actors in the world you can pick, Hollywood decides Ben Affleck. Yep, that's right, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck, the guy that starred as Daredevil. You remember Daredevil? Wow, that was a box office smash hit, wasn't it? And Ben Affleck. So in 2015, you're going to see Superman looking into the eyes of Ben Affleck. And you're going to hear Ben Affleck, or you're going to see Ben Affleck beat up Superman. Ben Affleck, who played Daredevil, remember this. Anyway, now, first and foremost, does Ben Affleck come across as an imposing character? Does he look the sort of guy that if you met him in a dark alleyway, you'd get scared? I certainly wouldn't. Ben Affleck. Does Ben Affleck look like a psycho to you? Okay, let's look at the 2 best Batmans for me. After Christian Bale, who looks a complete psycho, and we know we've heard him off camera or on camera, off camera, but having a complete go at the, I think somebody was working on set with him, who you called unprofessional, and you heard the almost 5 to 10 minute rant of Christian Bale. Yeah, he's a bit of a psycho. And of course he was in American Psycho as well. So you can see Bale has that psychotic way about him. He's got it. He looks a nasty piece of work. He's an excellent actor. And then you've got my second favourite, or the man who brought Batman back to the big screen. Not Adam West, but Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, I believe 1989, 1990. Batman. The Dark Knight, the whole rebuilding process of what Batman meant. All right, it seems as though there might be a cycle here. You have a great Batman in Michael Keaton, and then you've got an okay Batman in Val Kilmer, okay-ish, and then you get George Clooney, whom, to be honest, is a good actor, but was shocking in Batman and Robin. And then you had to get someone like Christian Bale to restore the credibility of what Batman meant in a big screen. Because, bat skis and bat credit card, and really corny lines. Batman and Robin was an awful movie. It was a shocking movie. I think in terms of awful movies, Batman and Robin and Superman 4, The Quest of Peace were 2 shocking movies. However, if you ask me the 2 movies, I'll watch Superman 4 just because of Christopher Reeve, because I love Christopher Reeve, Anyway, back to my point. And of course, Christian Bale came back with Christopher Nolan and reset the tone of what The Dark Knight is. So you've got Ben Affleck now. The first time Superman and Batman are coming together in one movie on a big screen. And I don't mean the cartoons, because they've been back and forth in cartoons for a while now. Okay, could you imagine Ben Affleck when Superman was fighting all those Kryptonians and wherever he was in Smallville or in the city battling against the Kryptonians? Could you imagine Ben Affleck coming in as the Dark Knight? You couldn't, could you? And what about Batman? Ben Affleck as Batman turn up to Clark and going, "I'm Batman." Could you how can you imagine Ben Affleck doing, "I'm Batman"? You couldn't, you know. You imagine him going through the streets, beating people up, like, you know, threatening people. "Kill me now!" That sort of stuff. Can you see that in Ben Affleck? Now, bear in mind, Ben Affleck played as the Daredevil, running around at night time. Now, he was the blind man, right? In the Daredevil. I thought he did an okay job as Daredevil, but nothing outstanding, and never ever once came back to do Daredevil 2. I don't know. Me personally, if I was Hollywood director and I wanted an older, more mature Batman, for me, I'd go back to Michael Keaton. I would go back to Michael Keaton. He's older, he's wiser, he looks a psycho. I mean, no disrespect to Michael Keaton, but he played the role of Batman so well. In fact, his voice of Batman was more realistic. You know, Bale's voice sounded like he had a sore throat all the time. You know, he had that look in his eyes when even when he was Bruce Wayne. He had that look in his eyes that made you feel, yeah, that's Bruce Wayne and that's Batman. You know, you could really relate to that, just like you can relate to Christian Bale. But Ben Affleck, every time I look at that, every time I see Ben Affleck, I think Daredevil. Two things that go through my mind. Why didn't you follow up and do Daredevil 2? One. And two, if I'm right, Daredevil's a Marvel character and Batman's a DC character? Well, isn't that blasphemy as well? Having a Marvel character, a person who's played for Marvel, become a DC character? Well, that can't be right. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm shocked. Ben Affleck may pull it off, but it's going to be very difficult, I think. But that's what he's paid to do. He's an accomplished actor and, you know, producer, director. Congratulations, Mr. Affleck. But I certainly have been picking you. Who would you have picked as your Batman? Who would you have as Batman? Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your views. I'm out.